What's going on, guys? Afflicted Gamer here, back with another Division video. And today in State of the Game they gave us some really cool news for 1.7, and I thought I would give you guys a breakdown and try to show you a bit of an example of just a couple of the things that they talked about today. So there's a lot to get into. I'm really excited, and I'm actually going to start with the one exotic that most people really dislike, which is the Ninja Bike Backpack. It is going to be reworked, obviously, we all know that, but so far as they've discussed, it will be kind of a wild card. So I'm going to show you the gear that I have on now to kind of give you an example. If I was to have on, say, 3 pieces of Sentry's Call instead of 4, and I had 2 pieces on of, let's say, Firecrest, and then the final piece was the Ninja Bike Backpack, that would then mean I would get set bonuses from the Ninja Bike Backpack. Because I have that backpack equipped, I would then actually get 4 pieces of Sentry and 3 pieces of Firecrest with the set bonuses. And I think that that is actually a really cool idea. So, and that is just for starters. They're going to see how well that goes with the first BTS, and then it could change after that. But so far, that is how things look. So, it might make some gear sets a little bit stronger, or a lot stronger in some certain cases, that those gear sets weren't really that useful due to their set bonuses. So you can mix and match however you want to now with that, and I think that that is really cool. Another thing that they talked about is we're getting classified gear. What is that? We'll get into that also in a second. They gave us a couple examples. For instance, Sentry's Call. I'm just going to talk about that quickly because it is on screen. We all know with the 4 set bonus, you can mark your target 3 times to get a stack for extra damage. Well, now in 1.7, against PvE targets, not PvP, that stack will become 6. So that is going to be very helpful. They're not going to do it in PvP because they don't want to ruin PvP, even though a lot of people think it's ruined already, but that is just a prime example of what they're going to do. They're going to be reworking the set bonuses and what they can do for every gear set in the game. So how do you get classified gear? Well, when we have the global events drop in patch 1.7, 3 gear sets will be put into each global event, and then you will get to chase after your set pieces that you want. And the cool thing is that now you can actually wear 5 or 6 pieces of the same gear set and get more set bonuses. So that, I think that's going to be really interesting, to wear 6 pieces of Sentry or 6 pieces of Deadeye, 6 pieces of Final Measure, whatever the case may be. They used Final Measure actually as an example. So we all know Final Measure with the 4 piece, it diffuses a grenade every so many seconds. Well, that so many second timer can change if you're wearing the 5 set. If you're wearing the 6 set piece of all of that, and it has to be all of the classified gear pieces: harness, holster, gloves, backpack, etc. So what can happen is this: if you defuse, say, a incendiary grenade, that will in turn change and give your team a damage buff. If you defuse an EMP grenade, it can then stack for your team's defense and buff your skill power. They give us examples like that. All of these things we're going to get to experiment with in patch 1.7, and yes, it is coming to console. So this will be the biggest PTS that we have ever had in the game. Fantastic idea, and honestly it's about time, because the console players make up a huge chunk of the Division's player base, and you know what, now we don't have to sit back and watch And it's great, everybody on PC, you know, all the feedback that they were able to give and help us with this whole time, but you know what, now we get to have our say as well, and I think that's going to be great. Also, in terms of this classified gear, they wanted to make it so that we actually have to choose between, do we want to wear the 5 and 6 pieces or our exotics. They want to make these pieces rare and so valuable that we view them the same way that we view our exotic gear. So yeah, I don't know, we'll see how that all plays out when the time comes, you know. I don't know how much I want to give up some of my exotics, but there won't be any new gear sets in the game. They, quote unquote, these will be improved gear sets and improved pieces for our gear sets that are coming. And a really cool feature about these is that we can recalibrate two attributes on these gear pieces. So if you don't like your firearms number and you hate your minor or major attribute, you can reroll your firearms number into whatever you want and change one of the other stats on your gear pieces. So not just one area, you know, or one slot. You can now reroll 2 areas on your gear. That's awesome. I've hated getting, you know, really low firearms, then ammo capacity, and then something I don't want as a major attribute on my backpack, or whatever the case is. So now, you know, I can bump up my firearms, I can roll for health and have ammo capacity and have this amazing piece of classified gear that is not only rolled perfectly, but it's also going to, you know, bump up my gear set and in terms of what it can do. We will get a chance to look for some of these pieces in the open world, but for the most part they're stuck in the global events, and when the global event ends and the next one starts, a new set of gear sets will be thrown into the mix. So if they do, I believe it's Lone Star, Deadeye, and Final Measure first, then the next time could be Sentry, Striker, Tactician, so on and so forth. When they're done, they're done. There will also be the new vendor that most of you, I'm pretty sure, already know about, that you'll be able to take your tokens and go and purchase these tier caches. And what will happen is that the higher the tier of the cache, it will give you a chance to actually get one of these classified gear set pieces in it, so that you're not stuck grinding as much. And they wanted to make that a thing, that we're not, you know how we all have run Lexington Event Center God knows how many times to try to get a Bear's chest piece. They don't want that sort of thing to be an issue with the global events. They want people to get a chance to get their hands on these items, and because of what they're going to do for us, you know, it's already a thing where we're going to have to make a choice whether we want to use them or not. So having to grind for them on top of that, you know, it's kind of a bit of a pain. So that's cool that they're going to make that a bit easier on us. So other than that, I'm actually scrolling through everything that I wrote down because there was a lot. This was really, really cool. Seeker Mines. There is going to be a change to that. The Red Storm, the guys from Red Storm almost gave everybody a panic attack by saying that Seeker Mines were getting a 200% buff. What actually is happening, and they clarified this, was there will be a 60% decrease on the initial explosion damage from airburst on Seeker Mines. So that's pretty cool. I think they were happy with how Seekers functioned until they decided to let the team buff them up, and they were on the receiving end of it. So now that is going to change. Seeker Mines won't be as deadly as they are. Deadeye is going to be reworked so that, you know, every time we go into Last Stand, you know, that's not all that you're going to see from here on out, and I'm really happy about that. I hate going in there and I can't walk 10 feet because I'm stuck in fire the whole time, or somebody across the map is spamming their SVD, which is another change that is coming. If anybody has been here from the get-go, from day one, like myself, the first wave M1A was a fantastic sniper, and you could spam the trigger because the reticle bloom wasn't too wide. The SVD will be getting I'm almost going to call it a nerf as of what I heard today. They're going to, the SVD, we all know, you could spam it. The spread is nice and tight, it's perfect. Pretty much, you know, you always land your shots. Well, the reticle bloom is now going to look a little bit more like a first wave M1A. So I don't know how happy people are going to be about that. I'm not thrilled, but we'll see how it goes first. I'm not going to judge something before I've actually tried it. So that is awesome. Gear score increase, not happening. And you know what, honestly, just my opinion, take it or leave it. I don't think we need a gear score increase. I think we need more gear, weapons, and enemies to battle. I don't need to go and chase for more exotics, even though they come out of weekly caches, assignment caches, legendary missions. I don't want to chase for the same gear I already have and re-roll it the same way again. I would like something new. So they're not doing that, and instead we are getting classified gear, and I think that that is a really, really good idea. Hopefully you guys do too, and I hope that all of this news is good, and that you guys are happy and looking forwards to all of this. I think classified gear with 5 and 6 set piece bonuses will be very interesting, and I cannot wait to see how all of that will actually function. So that is it. We already know we have global events coming and everything else that they've already talked about. I'm not going to reiterate things that you guys already know about, but this is the stuff, this is the biggest stuff that they have announced today, and so far I think that this was by far one of the best state of the games that I've seen in a long time. I think this is some of the best news that the Division has gotten in a long time. Something new to chase after, items that will be rare, new set bonuses for gear sets, the ones that we love already, and they're going to function different. It's going to be different, plus on top of that the global events, plus the new vendor, and there's still more that they are going to announce. So I'm pretty happy. I hope you guys are too. I hope you enjoyed the video and liked the content. If that's the case, please go ahead and drop this video a like. If you're new to the channel, consider subscribing for more Division content like this and much more on the way. I will see you guys soon in the next video or in the next live stream, and I will keep you updated also and participating in the PTS. So, alright guys, until then, take care, enjoy the rest of your day. Let me know what you think about these changes coming to 1.7, and I will see you soon in the next video.